Welcome, guys, to the WRESTLEBUDDY podcast. I'm your host, as always, Andy, and I'm joined with another triple threat, second podcast of the night. And obviously, we've got a lot of wrestling going on. This time, we are going to digest Impact Wrestling's pay-per-view, No Surrender. I'm joined by the man known as Simply Steve. Steve, how are we doing?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you very much yourself, Andy.
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I say a lot of wrestling going on this weekend, isn't there? So there's a lot for people to watch and a lot of stuff to digest. And then we're also joined from the empty space, the man called Joker. How we doing, Joe?
We're good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. As I say, a lot of wrestling going on this weekend. So really, really good and really good stuff that's going to go on. So hopefully we go. Is Courtney's back? Hi, Courtney. How we doing?
Oh, is she in?
She's
fantastic.
She is. How we doing, buddy? Yeah, we're doing right, guys. So we're going to go straight into it. So pay-per-view that we got here looks really, really good on Impact Wrestling. Obviously, they're going the same night as WWE, but at a lot later time, which will be good because it means that people will get a chance to watch both of them. So really, really good. What do you think of the card as a whole before we start going into our thing, Steve? What do you think?
Yeah, the card looks really. The card itself looks really good. The pre-show will be a nice sort of way to get you into the show, and it'll be a nice change to see some fresh wrestlers to a degree because a lot of the wrestlers on the pre-show missed the last set of tapings. So for us, it'll be a way to reintroduce us to them as well, and they're all wrestlers that can flat out go. So if that's a way to sort of say, I want to watch the rest of this show, then yeah, they're a good set of wrestlers to put on that pre-show.
Yeah, but what do you think about it, John?
The card's fantastic. And like the pre-show is a great way to get to welcome back people who've been missing for a while. But the whole build to the cut to the event itself since the end of Hard to Kill has been amazing. So I've been looking forward to this for ages.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll jump straight into it then, and we'll start off with the pre-show because obviously you know that you just mentioned that it's a good match to start off with. We got Trey Miguel versus John Skyler. Joe, let's go to you first. What's your thoughts on this match?
It's a interesting match. John Skyler is a really, really fantastic technical wrestler, and Trey Miguel being the X Division champion, he needs some exposure because he's been away the last set of tapings. So this is going to be a good match to put Skyler over, even if Skyler loses, because this isn't going to be an easy ride for either of them. So I think Trey Miguel's got this match, but it's going to be great to see him back. It's going to be great to see Skyler really, really get some decent match time as well.
Brilliant. Okay. And what's your thoughts on it, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to see more from John Skyler ever since he turned up. He had a great run towards the Digital Media Championship, but besides that, we've not seen too much for him. So maybe this is a start into something for him. But yeah, I think Trey Miguel has got this one, and you know this. And as we know, a match later, I'm sure we'll get to see something else from Trey going forward as well.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so we'll get your thoughts on this match then. Who do you think is going to come out on top here? Do you think, obviously with Trey Miguel being the name in this match, do you think that it's an easy win for him, Steve?
I don't think it'll be easy, but I think he'll have it won. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah, Trey Miguel got this match won, but like I said earlier, it's not going to be an easy ride. John Skyler has needed some decent exposure, and this is a great way to give it to him. He's going to give Trey Miguel a run for his money.
Okay. So you're both going with Trey on this one, yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, right. So next match we've got on here, we've got Havoc with Rosemary versus Tennille Dashwood, Madison Reed and Caleb with a K in a singles match. Steve, we'll go to you first. What's your thoughts on this match?
Oh God, there's so much that could happen in this match. I personally feel that we could see Decay are very good at being that interchange into storylines, and I feel we could see Havoc get the win here over Tennille, and maybe Madison being the one accidentally costing them the match, leading to Tennille and Caleb joining the Inspiration.
Okay, so you think like the Inspiration are going to start getting some more people involved in their faction, yeah?
They've really been teasing that, and they've been teasing this since Bound for Glory, and it's got to end somewhere. And if they don't end it soon, it's going to drag on too long.
Okay. Just a point on that. Why do you think the Inspiration are on this card?
Well, that's what we were discussing, because it really felt like they were building up towards the Inspiration versus the Influence. That's where we all thought this was going. And then suddenly that match didn't appear, which the only way I can think that it doesn't build to that match is maybe they interfere in this match or something, and it then leads to another angle or something.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so let's go to predictions on this match first of all. Joe, what's your thoughts?
Havoc's going to win. I think Havoc. I want Havoc to win, seeing as Tina Dashwood's been away for so long.
What's your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, I agree with Joe. I think Havoc will win, and I mean Decay need a win as well. And I think that there will be some definite shenanigans after the match.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Right, so we move on to the next one. We've got Honor No More. So we've got Mike Bennett, Vincent, Kenny King, PCO, and Matt Taven versus Team Impact. Steve Macklin, Eddie Edwards, Chris Sabin, Rhino, and Rich Swann. If Honor No More wins, they will stay in Impact. Obviously, it's been a good little thing this with the Ring of Honor invasion angle and whatnot. We'll go to you first, Joe. What's your thoughts on this?
The whole invasion angle has been brilliant. It's got my attention, and looking forward to seeing Ring of Honor get relaunched now. That's due to happen in April, and it's really got me interested to see what they're going to do then. As to the match itself, they couldn't have picked 5 better guys to represent Ring of Honor, even though they're now not officially signed there anymore. They couldn't have picked anyone better, and the twist at the end with Impact Wrestling with Josh Alexander going was, well, sad as it is good for Steve Macklin, and it plays into, it gives him a bit more exposure, and it just adds a bit more twists and turns to the stories that could follow, and it's just going to be a really good match.
And what's your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, Team Impact are going to be very interesting to watch here, because you've got a lot of different characters, especially with Steve Macklin in there, who isn't technically friends with anyone. So it's going to be very interesting to watch this match. And for me, Honor No More have this match won, because if they lose, it's going to be a very weird direction that this storyline goes in. It feels like it's a win or nothing changes, really.
Okay. So overall, who do we think's going to win on this one, Joe?
Honor No More have got this one. As my big as an Impact guy as I am, like Steve said, if they don't win, then this match is just going to be too predictable, and there's no payoff to the whole storyline.
Steve?
Yeah, Honor No More, and because if they don't win, then it doesn't move a storyline along, and so far this storyline has been played perfectly.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so on the next match, this was a match that stood out to me on this card. It was Jay White versus Eric Young. I think it's got a potential to be a really, really good match. And I'm aware of both guys, really, really good in-win workers. Steve, what's your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, you're not wrong. When this match was announced, I instantly said this could be the show stealer. You've got 2 fantastic veteran workers in there. Both, I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but not this week, but last week, they both had a promo off, and that was outstanding. EY, either tonight or last night, dropped a promo on Twitter, and I would say to anyone, go and watch that. That is high quality. White. He is at the top of his game right now, in the ring and out the ring. So this is very difficult to call, because Jay White is, a big name in wrestling right now. He's AEW, Impact, New Japan. He's everywhere. But EY currently is one of the minds of the business. So I kind of feel like EY's got this one. I think if anyone can get one over on JY, EY can.
Okay. And what's your thoughts on it, Joe?
It's well, Steve said a lot. What we need to say. It's a battle of two legends of the business, and it stood out for me because it was just quite unusual, and how they put the match together over the past couple of weeks is just added to the hype rather than thinking, oh Christ, this is weird. Eric Young is fantastic, and I saw the promo he did this morning. It's one of the best promos I've seen him do for a very long time, and Eric Young is one of the kings of promos in Impact Wrestling.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's have a look at our predictions for this one then. So let's go with you first, Steve. Who do you think's got this one?
It's tough. It really is. I'm going to give it to EY just on the basis of the last 48 hours.
Okay, Joe.
Earlier this week, I thought it would be Jay White, and I'm going to stick with it because I think the Bullet Club are going to pull a clean sweep at this event to add to their whole build into back into Impact Wrestling.
My original thought.
Okie doke, interesting. Okay, so let's move on to our next match. We've got the Good Brothers, the champions, versus the Gorillas of Destiny, Tangaloa and Tama Tonga, for the Impact World Tag Team Championships. Steve, what's your thoughts on this one, pal?
It'll be a cracking match. You got two fantastic teams and two great teams know how to tell a story in there. And on the basis of the outcome, the Good Brothers have now held the title since Slammiversary, and they've had 2 or 3 times where you felt there was a team there. It was the perfect time to drop the titles, and they didn't. You had it with Rich Swann and Willie Mack at Victory Road, and they didn't pull the trigger. You had it with the Bullet Club, Chris Bay and Hikuleo at Bound for Glory, didn't pull the trigger. If they don't do it this time, you think, missed another opportunity. So it's got to be the time, I feel, for the Good Brothers to drop it. And who better to drop it to than GOD?
Yeah, I mean, they have been around for a long time, the Good Brothers, haven't they? And they've held them belts for a long, long time. They even had them on AEW television at one point as well. Joe, what's your thoughts on this one, mate?
I'm surprised this match never happened anywhere else. When I heard that this is the first time ever that GOD have faced the Good Brothers, I honestly didn't believe it. And so that in itself is amazing. And to see the Good Brothers finally putting the titles on the line and most likely having a high chance of losing them is going to make this match a lot more interesting too. Because every other title match they've had recently over the last 4 or 5 months, we've pretty much guessed that they could win. Even though I've always thought the Good Brothers are better chasing gold rather than holding gold. One of these teams that doesn't need the belt, doesn't need a title to put themselves over. So, but there's no denying that they're extremely talented. Otherwise, they wouldn't be as big as they are. And I'm just looking forward to seeing these guys make history.
Yeah. Okay. So thoughts on this one, Steve?
Like Joe said, it'll be a great match, but I think that GOD will win it. And if they don't, you think, well, who else have the Good Brothers got to go through? They've ran through the roster now.
Okay. Joe, prediction?
Yeah, the GOD have got this one.
Okay, brilliant. Now, next match we've got is Jonah versus Black Taurus in just a singles match. Probably placed in between the cards. So some good title matches on there, but it's good to have some matches like this as well. What's your thoughts on this, Joe?
I'm looking forward to this since the whole issue with Decay and Jonah started. I've been waiting to see Black Taurus really, really have a decent opponent again. And we've not seen that since Josh Alexander took him on last year. And it's been just over a year now since Black Taurus has joined Impact Wrestling. So there's no better way to celebrate that than put him in one of the biggest guys in the entire business. And
brilliant. Okay, and what's your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, this is going to be a horse fight, isn't it? You know, two big balls, literally one big ball going at it. And it's going to be interesting how they both handle each, because they're both big men, but they can flat out go, can't they?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's gonna be interesting with what Crazy Steve said, isn't it? That they use the match with Steve to scout him. So you don't think it's going to be as easy as what you think. I still think Jonah will come out on top, which is why I think they've done that Havoc match maybe to give Decay a win on this show. So yeah, I think Jonah will win it. I think there'll be some afters as well.
Right. Okay. And what do you think is going to happen in the afters?
I don't know, but you know, with Decay, there's always going to be something. You know, they always end up coming out on top, and if they're all out there, there's going to be 4 of them to 1 of Jonah.
Okay, doke. So prediction, Joe?
Yeah, on Wednesday I predicted Jonah's going to win, and I'm frustratingly going to have to stick with that. I think that Jonah's got this match won. I was biggest fan of Decay, so there's not much else to add there. Jonah's got this.
And Steve, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, I think we're going for Jonah on this one as well.
Brilliant. Okay, so next one we've got, and Courtney, she's going with Jonah as well. Okay, so next match we've got Matt Cardone versus Jordan Grace for the Impact Digital Media Championship. Now, there's nobody at the moment, there's nobody better than Matt Cardone in his exposure. He works hard, he's one of the hardest working men in wrestling. You know, what's your thoughts on this match, Steve?
Can't agree more with you. And the Cardone that we were seeing in GCW is what all of us in Impact were calling for ages. And finally, a couple of weeks ago, we saw it. And that hopefully we will see continue. And the only way to continue that is to have him go over Jordan Grace, and in a heelish fashion. So yeah, there's no way that you can have a heel Matt Cardona turn heel and then lose.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you think, Joe? Do you see Matt Cardona going towards the championship picture anytime soon, or do you think he's found his level with this for now?
For now, I think he's found his level. He doesn't need to go for the tag titles or anything. His whole purpose to go to Impact Wrestling was to win a championship, and at the end, and that's what he's done. And he's, like he said before, he's the one who created the whole digital media internet style thing. So he's basically taken Impact Wrestling's version of his own belt and finally made it his own. So it like Steve said, we've seen a huge character swerve from him, and it's been incredible. I've been a huge fan of Matt Cardona since he was in WWE, and when he came to Impact Wrestling, I said to everybody, this guy is going to go very, very far in the company. But people didn't think it was going to happen. They thought he'd be gone in 2 or 3 months. But no, he's now digital media champion, and he's making the title look a lot better and a lot more relevant than it was.
Yeah.
So what's your predictions then, Steve?
I'm going for Matt Cardona, and I will add, I would be very intrigued to see if he turns up with the NWA title as well.
Interesting, Joe.
Yes, Matt Cardona for me.
Okay, doke. So next match we've got on the card, we've only got 3 matches left, which I can't believe we got this far, considering 4 matches left, considering, because it is quite a long card, isn't it? 11 matches in total.
Yeah, normally 9 to 11, isn't it?
Yeah. So we've got Deonna Purrazzo versus TBA, obviously to be announced. Some people are saying it's for the AAA championship, or it may be for the other belt. Yeah. So we don't know what's going to happen here. Let's just have a quick shoot on this then. So, Joe, what's your thoughts on who could be TBA?
God, Deonna Purrazzo was someone called her out earlier on this week, and I've forgotten who it was. So I'm thinking it might be her, or I think it might be Masha Samovich, who's also called Deonna Purrazzo when she said that there's nobody who could beat her, and Masha Samovich put her name forward in a message online. So I think it might be someone outside the company, like we had with Santana Garrett last week, going for the Reina de Reinas championship.
Okay. Now, I'm going to say, I think it's going to be the AAA belt that's getting defended, and I think you're going to see Taylor Valkyrie come back. Steve, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, that's the obvious thought, having Taya, who's I believe, still the longest Reina de Reyes champion, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the obvious sort of thought process. I don't know where she is or what she's currently looking towards.
She's free agent now, isn't she? She's actually free to
Yeah,
wrestle now. So.
yeah. I have a feeling that Impact are going to do kind of the same thing with what they did with like Santana Garrett, go down that kind of line and not give us a big name like Taya or a Deanna, but kind of go more kind of your kind of maybe Kimberly, your Santana Garrett, that kind of name. So maybe someone like a Tegan Knox, because we know Impact are going more kind of international
she's
stars.
just come free as well, hasn't she?
Yeah,
So,
they're kind of getting more like that. They've got a lot of Australian stars on their roster. They're getting the Indian stars. They're getting the kind of Canadian, and they've got Masha, who's Russian, and they're just saying Giselle Shaw, who's Welsh. Tegan Knox is Welsh, so that could be an option.
Okay, right. Okay, so we'll move on then to the. I'm sorry, we have got the inspiration on this card as well. I do apologise about that. I didn't see that match there. The inspiration versus the influence.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
that sounds weird. Then if Tenille's wrestling,
it looks like it's being added to the card. It looks like the other one's being removed and that's being added to it.
Well, it's breaking news, guys.
Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship.
Well, it makes a lot more sense, I must admit.
It does make a lot more sense then.
Yeah, the influence versus the influence. I apologise about that. That must have just changed.
That's
so there you go, some breaking news anyway. Right, guys, go on. Steve, go. What do you think of this?
Well, yeah, like Joe said, it makes a hell of a lot more sense. The story, I'll go with stick with my original thought. The inspiration win it, and Tenille and Caleb, I think, turn on Madison.
Okay, brilliant. And Joe, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, the inspiration is still going to retain the titles. I think Caleb with the K is the one who's just going to walk and not Tenille Dashwood. She'll break away from Madison Rayne later on, but on the night, Caleb with the K will break away. Given how the recent interaction we had this week, which was hilarious. And it was between himself and Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee. But but they've been really, really pulling on the strings that Caleb with the K is going to break free from Madison Rayne and Tenille Dashwood. So this would be a best time to do it. Really, 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 just add a bit of sparkle to the inspiration.
Brilliant. So prediction then.
The inspiration.
The inspiration,
Steve?
Right, the inspiration.
Excellent. So we'll move on to our next match then. Before we get into the two main events, call me old-fashioned, but the two title matches for me are the main events. So we've got the X Division Championship: Jake Something versus Ace Austin versus Mike Bailey versus Chris Bray. Steve.
I'm a lot more intrigued in this now they announced that it's a number one contendership for the X Division. This. I can see Chris Bay winning this. Like Joe said, I can see the Bullet Club getting a big push tonight. And out of all of them, Chris Bay seems more positioned for a push. Mike Bailey, I think, is getting a push, but he needs a bit more time. Jake and Ace have been a bit flip-floppy lately, whereas Chris Bay has had a nice little rhythm to him, I think.
Okay, so predictions on this one then. Joe, what's your thoughts on this one, mate, first?
I watched I thought excuse me. I'm having just watched Impact Wrestling today. I saw I think Ace Austin's got the most momentum going into this match, so I think Ace Austin's going to pick the victory up in this match. But it's a great way to set up a number one contendership match and finally have a definitive answer as to who's going to go against Trey Miguel next. We all thought the Radio Cage would have been up there, so I think him not being in there is a bit of a mistake. Jake Something hasn't really won enough matches to put himself in contendership, so I do question why he's there, not Laredo Kid, which is that's the only gripe I have with the entire match, is that Jake Something really shouldn't be in this one, because he's most likely him going to be taking the fall in this match if Ace Austin or Chris Bay picks up the victory.
Brilliant. Okay, so in our co-main event, we have fresh from breaking down the Forbidden Door. Mickie James is back to defend her championships against Tasha Steele or Steeles. What's your thoughts on this, Joe? We'll go to you first.
I've been looking forward to this. Tasha Steeles has been gold on the mic, especially since Mickie James has gone to the Royal Rumble. She's just shot down everyone who's criticized her and criticized even Impact Wrestling and anyone. She just doesn't give a shit. So and Tasha Steeles was my prediction to be the next Knockouts champion after Mickie James. So I think she's got this match won.
Okay, Steve, what's your thoughts?
This is a tough one because Tasha is positioned perfectly to take the belt from Mickie. However, I've got this nagging doubt that Mickey's going to hold on to it. I don't know why, but maybe it's Impact booking. Like we all said Deonna was winning at Bound for Glory against Mickie, and Mickie went over. So it's something to do with how Impact have had this strange booking on the Knockouts Championship, but it's turned out correctly. So yeah, I've got this weird feeling that Mickey's going to retain here.
Brilliant. Okay, I do apologise, lads. I'm getting over the flu. So
that's okay.
Okay, so prediction time, Joe.
Tasha Steeles for me.
Brilliant. And Steve.
Yeah, I'll go Tasha. I will say, I'll go Mickie. But yeah, I will say, I saw someone the other day say maybe Kira turns up and distracts Tasha. I was like, I don't see that happening.
No, not yet.
Okay, then, guys, and then we'll go to our main event, Moose versus W Modesty. Love to see Modesty come over in this one. What's your thoughts on this, Joe? First,
this has been built up fantastically. W Morrissey is going to be one of these standout stars of 2022, as he was in 2021. It's so hard to really put the thoughts on this match into words. It's just one of those matches you just got to sit back and just enjoy it. I think Moose is still going to pick up the victory because it's just too soon for him to lose the belt. But W Morrissey is definitely going to come really close in this match. Okay,
and what's your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, this is, like Joe said, this has been built up fantastically. And either man can walk away the winner. However, I feel Moose getting the pin on Morrissey, seeing though he's only been pinned once since he has been in Impact, that will do so much for Moose.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, I just like the whole story with Morrissey. He's got, from obviously down to up again, and everything else is a really good story. Yeah. And, Moose is quite old and whatnot, so maybe Morrissey can be the one to lead the Impact into the future. You never know.
You see Moose's story as well. He's worked a hell, and he's one of these people who's been pushed back a lot, so he kind of needs a decent reign, I guess. And Morrissey, I think the more he gets pushed back, he's kind of in the Josh Alexander picture at the minute. He's getting more over as the days go by as a face.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Okay. Right, prediction time then, Joe.
Moose.
Steve?
Moose.
Okay, guys. Well, that is the end of that, and that is the end of that card. Either way, it's going to be a fantastic pay-per-view, and I think there's a lot of twists and turns that can happen in this one. And guys, you can watch that tomorrow night. So live on Fight TV for us in the UK. Is it Fight TV in America as well? Is it?
No, it's on Impact Plus or Impact YouTube Insiders.
It is.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so I think here in the UK, I think it's about $7.99 Impact. Impact Plus or $4.99 YouTube Insiders.
Yeah. So you can watch it on Impact Plus. You can also watch it on YouTube Ultimate Insider, and the event also will be streamed worldwide via Fight TV app for $9.99. So make sure, guys, if you want to watch it, make sure that you do go and watch it. But for us to hear from the predictions, Steve, Joe, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate the Impact speciality as always, and we will see you again next time for the next one. I know what we're doing the Impact, so check them out, guys. There is some Impact specific lists and discussion videos that Joe and Steve have done on YouTube. Make sure you go and check them out on the WrestleBuddy YouTube and keep up to date with all the WrestleBuddy articles and bits and bobs over on our website at WrestleBuddy.com. But from me, Steve and Joe, until next time, take care, guys, and we'll see you again soon.